Okay, let's do it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a live episode of Riffin with Griffin. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, yeah, with Griffin. It's my Riffin with Griffin. Riffin with Griffin. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, yeah, yeah. With Griffin, baby. Riffin with Griffin. What's up, y'all? I know you can't believe this. Coming in late, coming in strong. We started it up freaking almost midnight here on the West Coast, but it is what it is. I just moved. I didn't get to do an episode, so I was like, I'm going to do an episode like this live. Whoever finds it, finds it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I welcome everybody and thank you for being here. And this is a live episode of Riffin with Griffin. All right, we will have the singing mic all night, all day. What's up, everybody? I know you're here. You're here with me. I got the chat open. I'm here for those that are listening and you didn't get to experience it live. I'm sorry, but I want to thank everybody for coming to Riffin with Griffin. I stream daily on Twitch in case, you know, for the people that watch Twitch, y'all already know. I stream on Twitch daily, and that's at Erik Griffin Gaming. So make sure you check that out, Erik Griffin Gaming, on Twitch. And then I put those on YouTube. I just got finished playing a great game with Stevie Weeby, and I played some Warzone and with my buddy Brian from New York, and we just won a trio. So I'll have that video up on my thing. But this is live, full effect and direct. This is I usually, you know what, I don't know this, but I record my episodes on Sunday anyway, and I release them on Monday. Sometimes I just have a complete stream of consciousness and I just do it. And so, you know, I'm here right now just doing it like this because this is how I would record the episode anyway. I usually record my episodes in one take and then I put them out and here they go. So I say, hey, you know what, let me just do it live. Then it's just already out. It's already done. It's already edited. I don't even got to think about it. I'm in my new place, and so I don't even have it set up. I had the green screen set up, but that's about it, you know, because I had to do this project, and I had to have it ready to go, you know, but I moved. I just want to talk about the move a little bit, just moving. And welcome, chat, by the way, you people that are watching live. I'm with you. I'll try to look over as much as I can, and I appreciate you guys being here with me as I'm doing this on this late night adventure. And you know, if you like it right now and share it because people might come. And today's episode is brought to you by my brand new sponsor. I got a sponsor, BetterHelp.com, and I'll talk about BetterHelp later. But check out BetterHelp.com/Griffin if you need some counseling, some therapy. It's some great stuff that they got going on, and if you get a 10% discount for being a Riffin with Griffin fan. But we'll talk about that later because I got to do a live read. But anyways, I moved, guys. I moved. So here's the thing about the move, all right? Moving sucks, all right? And in my last place, I had all these stairs, and I had weird stairs. So there was like a 180-degree turn on my stairs. So you go up, you turn, and it's, you know, it's fun, it's great, whatever. But the problem is when you have to move, the furniture that's upstairs, they have to somehow get it through that. And then I had 2 stories, right? And so you had to walk up the stairs to there, and then in the building that I lived in, you also had to walk up the stairs to get there. So I don't know. So I had this moving company. They were great, actually. But it wasn't too much trouble. I'll even give them a plug. Good Neighbors Moving Company. All right, I'm giving them a plug because I had a great experience. Other than a couple of things, you know. But my first thing is like, so the movers show up. They're late. Okay, so they're supposed to be there at 8:30. Dude calls me. His name's Angel. Shows up at 9 with the truck and 2 dudes. So. All right, so the guy I'm talking to on the phone that I set everything up with, I don't want to stereotype, whatever, but he sounded like a white guy, all right? So he sounds like it's a white guy that runs the company, right? So, okay, first of all, you ever try and, like, no one wants to be racist, okay? None of us. And anytime there's, like, stereotypes and anytime there's kind of thing, you try to avoid them. But then when it's thrown in your face, you find yourself being like, am I racist? But you're not trying to be racist. It's like, for instance, you know, it's like you walk up on a black dude, he eating chicken and watermelon, and he got a fat white girlfriend, and two kids that look like they from different baby mamas, and you're like, ugh, what do I do? You know, actually, I've had this. It's like, are you being racist if you're like, well, see, but you know, it's weird how where your mind goes. It's like I took my buddy Vinny. I had him on the podcast. Vinny and I, when he did the podcast, we went to go eat sushi in downtown Culver City. So it's pandemic, so it's outdoor eating, you know, so outdoor seating. So we sitting out here, right? We walk up to the sushi restaurant, and there's like a stern-faced Asian guy, and there's people walking up and down the place, right? And he's kind of standing out there. And it's one of those things where you're like, okay, you standing in front of an Asian restaurant and you looking for somebody that works there. And it's that moment where you're like, does he work here? You know, it's like, table for two? How is it? Or are you helping us? You know? So it was like this weird moment. See, that's what I'm saying. You have these kind of moments. All right. So I bring this up to talk about the movers come. Okay. And this is on me. I'm realizing I was misjudging, okay? Because, okay, all right, this is the reason why. Well, I won't even talk about it like that. I'll just tell you exactly how it all came about. So, the movers get there, they get to my place at like 9. So I want to take care of them early because they're touching your personal belongings. I don't know these people, and I want it to go smoothly. So I call them up. You know, I say, hey, man, my girl's going to Starbucks. Let me get you guys something. There's 3 of you, right? What do you guys want? Tell me what you want. He's like, first of all, I could tell he's shocked. He got surprise in his voice up top of like, oh, okay, bro. You know, and he's, by the way, they're all Latino. Okay. So if you hear me do like a weird accent, it's because he said bro a lot. He was Latino. His name was Angel. Okay. So he was Latino as a mother. So he's like, okay, bro, you know, and I go, what do you guys want? And he goes, anything. So when you already feel uncomfortable that somebody's buying you something, you don't want to put in an order. You just want to go, hey, get me whatever you want to get me. So I say, no, man, tell me what you want. I'll get you what you want. And he says like questioningly, he goes, caramel frappuccinos? You know, he was like, you know, frap, you know, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll get you 3 of those. He was like, oh, okay. All right. So they get there. We give them the coffee. It's cool. All right. The guys get out the truck, and immediately I'm like, my brain is already going to some place. The dude's name's Angel. The other guy, his name might as well have been Spider, and the other guy, Lil Puppet. I mean, that's what they look like. Dude had neck tattoos, wife beater. They didn't have no braces on. They didn't have no gloves. You know what I mean? They had nothing to protect themselves from lifting stuff. Dude. So I'm immediately like, okay. So I think I put them at ease because I gave them the coffee. They were already like, bro, thank you. You know, it was cool. So then we started. Now, I know that the owner of the thing didn't tell them that all the stairs situation. You know, didn't tell them that at all. You know what I mean? So he was like, so they were already like, whoa. And then I have a lot of stuff. I have heavy stuff. I have this big, heavy couch that has 3 sections. And it's heavy as shit. All right? So then they start. It takes forever. I got quoted for 3 hours. By hour 4, we hadn't even finished packing my place to even come over to the new place. So, like, it's getting, you know, whatever. And then I say to the dudes, I go, hey, you guys want in and out, you know? And their reaction was like what? You know? Because I feel like spending some extra money to like get them to do the job right or feel like I'm not treating them like whatever, you know, I thought that was important to do. So I got in and out. I sent Rachel to get some in and out. We got, 3 doubles with French fries, sent them. So we finally got everything loaded. We get over to the new place. This is now taking forever. We're going into extreme overtime. My quote is already going to be triple what I'm going to have to pay because of what's going on. They get another guy to come. He's funny. They're there. Like, I'm cracking jokes with them, and we're sort of having a good time, as good as you can have if you're working and you're doing like a job like this where you have to move. You know what I mean? So, all right, the job finishes. One, they broke one of my tables. I have a living room end table. These dudes break it. Okay, they broke it. Not only did he break it, but they broke it when I wasn't even around, and then they threw it away. Okay, so it was like unsalvageable. So he just made an executive decision and threw my table away. I saw the picture, and I was like, damn, they broke the legs and everything. Now, quiet as it's kept, but I'm saying it publicly now, I don't really care. I didn't care because I want to get new tables, but still, the principle of it, they broke my table. You know what I mean? But I didn't. I wasn't going Karen out yet. All right. So they broke the table. Fine. So then the guy calls me at the end. They finally finish. It's late. I give the guys some of my DVDs too. I give them 3 Ugly Truth DVDs, my first comedy special, which you can buy on ericgriffin.com, by the way. So I give them my comedy. I give them the comedy DVDs, and they're making jokes too. One of the guys was hilarious. I think his name was George. He did not want to do any work. I almost felt like the other guys asked him, "Yo, man, you want to come work and you'll get tipped, you'll get some money," because like he was lifting the couch and he was like, "Bro, my back, I can't do it." And then the other guy was like, "Dude, come on, man." So they had to get the other guy who obviously worked there, and this guy was just funny. The 3 of them they were all playing music, right, on their phones, just blasting the music on their phones with no regard. All of them playing different rap music. And old school stuff too, you know, like the dude's like listening to like "If You Think You're Lonely Now," you know, and then the other one was listening to like some, you know, whatever rap songs, and they all had different things. And I was like, all right, let's just get this done. You know what I mean? So the dude was funny. The one didn't even want to do the work, and he didn't know. Then they making fun of me. I know they were making fun of me because one guy was like, the main guy was like, "Dude, have I seen you on Comedy Central?" And I was like, "Yeah, you probably seen Workaholics, right?" "Oh, yeah, you know." And then the other guy clearly had never seen Workaholics before in his life. He could care less. He just didn't want to do this menial labor job. He was done, okay? And he just like, whatever, you know? And so at the end of the day, I'm giving him the DVDs. One of the guys he was gassing me up like he was excited. "Sign it, bro. Sign it so I can have it and be like, ooh, I met this guy." And I was thinking to myself, whatever. I tip him out. I actually gave them all $100 each, okay? Because that's how much the shit was anyway, if you think about that. So I tipped out $400, all right? They leave. Next day, okay, wait. I'm talking to the owner of the thing, okay? Talking to the owner, right? Or the guy, the dispatch guy, whoever. He hears about how they broke my table, and they also broke one of my lamps. So they broke 2 things. The guy says, "I'm only authorized to offer you $50. I'm just telling you, being straight up, if you don't want to accept that, you have to call and you have to do a claim." I was like, all right. So then I'm about to pay with a credit card, and the dude says, I go, "You know, I'm going to just pay cash." He goes, "Well, if you pay cash, you get a discount." So the guy, he hits the guy back up, and the guy gives me $100 off because I paid cash. Here's my problem. So these motherfuckers break my stuff, and he can only give me a $50 discount. But if I pay cash, he now can authorize $100? Like, come on, man. There's so many moving horror stories. Like, some people move, they get their shit stolen, or some people move and then they like quadruple the price, even more, but your stuff's hostage. They go, "Well, we're not going to take your stuff off the truck unless you pay this." Or they leave your shit outside, and what are you going to do last minute? You know, so that's how they hijack people. So finding a good moving company is strange. So, all right, here's where I am taking the blame for my foolish thoughts. So I have a little money box. It's not a money box, but I keep change in it, and I've just put change in it, and it's metal. It's an old school money box, and I just have a bunch of change in it, quarters, pennies. You know, it's heavy as hell. I left it on the counter, so these guys they pack stuff for you too. I go, "I'm taking everything." They don't even care. They just grab shit and throw it in a box. I can't. This morning I wake up, I can't find my money box. I'm telling Rachel, "I can't find my money box, Rachel. Where the hell's my money box at?" Right? She's like, "It's somewhere, you know," and I'm like, "They stole my money box." Then I come upstairs because they also put my clothes in the thing, and I'm looking through my clothes, and I go, "My Raider jacket is missing." Immediately, you know, I'm being racist. I'm being stupid because I'm thinking the Latino guy stole my Raider jacket. You know, Raiders, you know, and I'm thinking they saw this jacket. I was like, "I'm keeping this jacket." Like, how stupid, right? Of course I find the Raider jacket. And Rachel finds the money box, like, "Here's the money thing." And I was already like, damn it. In my mind, I was being like, so I'm being stereotypical. I'm ready to Karen out. I'm about to Karen this company the hell out on the phone, but turns out I was just being stupid. So kudos to Good Neighbor Moving Company. They did a great job. The dudes, I won't say they were like super professional, but you know, you're not getting a Harvard grad when you to move for you. You know what I mean? And even that's dumb what I just said. But the point is, they got the job done. The dudes were cool, you know, and I tried to treat them as well as I could. Probably went above and beyond what most people do, but I did it, you know. But they called me bro like 50 times, you know what I mean? Or like one of them was like, Mr. Erik. I think it's funny when somebody call you Mr. Erik, you know? Like, what are you talking about? So anyways, that's the story of moving. So here we are. I'm at my new place. You know, I love it. You know what I mean? It's a bigger, we don't need to talk about that because I'm not trying to floss, but I did it. I moved. It's done. All right, now, what else is going on? Make sure you please share, like. You know, there's 269 of you guys watching right now, so make sure you hit them likes.
Hit them likes. Woo, 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 woo.
All right. What else has been up? So I was driving down the street. Now, the homeless situation in LA is getting crazy. Maybe it's always been like this, and because of it's a pandemic, they're not being strict about where people can be or where they can pitch their tents. I don't know if the homeless situation is, you know, any more worse than it always is, and it's pretty bad, right? So I'm driving by, you know, this encampment under the freeway, and I'm seeing all these tents. And I'm like, damn, tents. Then I start seeing different sizes of tents and stuff. And then I'm like, one of the tents, this sucker was a pavilion. You know what I mean? This sucker had a concierge desk. I felt like the tent was so big. And I thought to myself, damn, dude, stop flossing. Like, imagine you homeless and you living in a little bullshit tent. And then 3 tents down, dude got a 4-bedroom tent. You know what I mean? And you like, well, damn, dude. Like, even on that level, people are, you know, people flossing even on that level, right? Oh, wait a minute. We got a super chat.
So when we get a super chat, we sing about it. Thank you, Derp, a millionaire, for the $20. Whoa, 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 whoa. And if you're just listening now and you didn't watch it live, you missed out. Woo, 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 woo.
All right, Matic Productions, my boy Matic Productions, he sent some beats for me. So when I get the super chats, I'm going to throw on this beat, and we're going to get it going. But he sent me some dope beats, and if you want to send me some dope beats, be sure to send me those beats at Erik@erikgriffin.com. You can email me. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got that super chat. You know what that means? Erik Griffin gon' rap. Everybody gon' clap. Step at me. You can get that slap. All right, anyways. So you driving down the street, man. Again, I don't get it. Like, I go, like, this dude, this tent, it just looked ridiculous. Like, it was the biggest tent on the block type of thing. And I just thought, damn, even in homeless, even in people that are, like, disenfranchised and people that are, like, they down on their luck and they got to live underneath a freeway, there's still a hierarchy even there. That was, like, craziness. I was like, man, fix your tent situation. Like, come on, man. You don't gonna be flossing this hard. And some people got, like, they got the tents and they building fences around the tents. Like, you know, they had the wood. I was like, my goodness. Like, this is like, what is happening? Say, what's happening in this situation? Uh-oh. Super chat just came in, y'all. We got that $5 from Jamie Mendoza Jr. Oh, he's a junior, cuz Jamie Mendoza Sr. got with his mom and gave her that. Then he was born. Word is born. Erik Griffin came in, never falling on. All right. So, I don't know. I mean, what are we going to do about this homeless situation? I mean, don't you ever, like, I always feel like, what am I doing? Am I doing enough? I don't think we're not. I'm not. Nobody's doing enough if you think about it. And we got this sort of hear no evil, see no evil, say no evil attitude about the homeless. And it's like, we're so used to it now. We're so just like, you pull up on a freeway on ramp, you go put up your window if it was down because somebody's right there with a sign, and you're just like, boom. And even if you're somebody that likes to give, because I usually, like, if I have change and money in my little thing in my car, that's what I use it for. I'll be like, oh, here comes somebody that needs something. I go, here's $1, man, boom. You know, but it's like, is that absolving me from my societal obligation to make sure my fellow man is moving forward and being helped? Probably not. For sure not. So it's tough, man. It's tough. And once again, I don't necessarily think that the homeless, like somebody said in the chat, they think the homeless are taking over. But I don't think it's any worse than it's ever been. I mean, obviously it's worse because people have, like, we're going through some tough times and people are really struggling right now with all the closing of businesses and people can't work and you know, the evictions and, okay, I get that. But I think the homeless situation was still pretty bad even before this. But then you had these city ordinances where it was like, you can't be under this freeway. You know, like if you're under this freeway, the cops will come and they'll kick people out. So I think that's what happened in that situation. And now they're not, they're not enforcing that anymore because what are they going to do with these people? What are you going to do in the middle of a pandemic? What, you going to take people to jail? Like, it don't even make sense. So the homeless are like, well, this is where I'm living right now. I'm staying right here with my big ass tent. So I don't know, man. Chad is saying I should interview a homeless person. And I hope you guys, last week I was talking about The Mandalorian, and I see people in the chat talking about it. I hope you guys watch it. I mean, if you're into it, I mean, I really enjoyed Mandalorian. That sucker was great. That Mandalorian is so good. So good. You know, so good. All right. Want to talk about, what else did I want to talk about? I had some topics I wanted to talk about. First of all, any questions in the chat since we're here? This is like, we're live right now. For you guys that are listening later, if you didn't catch it live, I might start doing more of these. But, you know, if you didn't catch it live, you know, we're here on Riffin with Griffin. I'm live on YouTube right now on the Riffin with Griffin YouTube page. That's Erik Griffin Comedy. So make sure you check that out. No, Workaholics is not still around, and you know, I don't know if there's any plans to do, like, you know how they bring shows back like Will and Grace and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's going to be good. Somebody asked me, what do I think about Cyberpunk? Let me answer that. I got Cyberpunk video game. I played it on Erik Griffin Gaming, which you can catch me on Twitch. I played on Erik Griffin Gaming, and I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about that game. It reminds me of GTA, Grand Theft Auto, because it's open world, but I hate the story. I hate having to go through all this nonsense and talk to people. I hate my character talking to someone and me having to sit there and okay, skip. I hate it. But some of the missions are really hard. I can't get past this one mission. So the game's beautiful looking. It's well crafted. I mean, I can't give it back because I bought it online. I wish it was like DVDs and you can return that kind of stuff, but you can't. So I'm playing Cyberpunk, and I don't know. The jury's still out on it. I play a lot of Warzone. I love Warzone, so I play it every single day. So I'm trying to mix in other games. I've tried to play Cyberpunk, but I don't know. I think the hype, it was overblown. I think there was too much hype. You know? And if you had to ask me, if it was only two choices, good or bad, I'd pick bad, you know? It's I don't know. But I'm starting to have a little bit of fun when I play it, so I think that it's you could try it out. We'll see. Try it out. Okay, what else has been going on? So, you know, this is something I just wanted to talk about, and this is delicate. I'm talking about this live, so I got to be measured and cautious about what I say, but I still record. I usually record my podcast in one take anyway, so it don't even matter. But you guys know the actress Elliot Page. Now she's like, I don't know if she's transgender or if she's, let me look it up. I don't know what she classifies herself as now, but she now is going by Elliot. Let's look it up. Ellen Page. News. So she so she has come out as transgender and she now wants to be called Elliot Page. Okay, how do I feel about this? The real question is, what does it matter what I feel about it? That's really how I want to feel about it. But no, because of social media and the news, they jam this kind of stuff down your throat. To me, we should normalize it and it'd be like, who cares? It's like being gay. I don't care. If you're gay, who cares? Be gay. Do you. All of us. Whatever our proclivities are, whatever little preferences and things that we have, we should not have to explain ourselves to people or be defined by it. We should just be able to do what we do. But no, everything has to be made into a big deal. And right now, the transgender movement is one of those things. I get it. It's tough. It's hard, right? But it's like one of these things where, they throw it out in front of us and then we have to deal with it. And I'm saying, like, can I take a minute? Can I have a minute to process? For instance, I give an example of what I mean. So at my old place, they didn't have electric car charging. I got an electric car. They told me they were going to get the electric car charging. When they eventually got it, it wasn't going to be on my regular spot. So I had to switch spots. A spot I'd been parking in for like 6 years or longer, however long I was living at that place. That was my spot. I pull into the parking lot. I go in, I pull into my spot. It's second nature. When you're going home, I'm listening to audiobooks or even talking on the phone. I'm distracted. I'm on autopilot. I go to my spot. I had to move my spot. For like a week or two, I kept pulling in and going to that spot like, I don't park here anymore. My bad. I had to back up, go to my spot. That's how my brain works. Can I take a minute? So you want to be Elliot Page now. Cool. Can I take a minute and get used to it? Is it okay that I'm like, all right, this person doesn't want to be called this anymore and has decided to do this. Okay. I still remember her or him now. I don't even know what she as Ellen Page from the movies. And, I've even met her a few times at my boy's house, So it's like now we have to now deal with it. And look, some people are assholes. Some people are like hateful, negative, hateful people that they can't accept anything. They think they're doing right. They think they're Christian or whatever they follow, and they think that they're in the right and they act terrible. Those people, there's nothing you could do about those people. But there's a lot of us, and I would say most of us, who don't care. Most of us are just at home like, why is this a story? Who cares? Do you? But because you've made me have to deal with it, so here I am. I got to be like, all right. Hey, somebody says, hey, did you hear about that? And you go, oh, you mean Ellen? Oh, I mean, Elliot. And then you're like, I got to get used to it. And I have to it's like with, it's like I've known you, you know about a person for years. Juno that's like 10 years old now. You're a star. You got nominated for stuff, best actress nominations or whatever she's gotten. You know what I mean? So now all of a sudden we got to be like, okay, it's a dude now. Okay. So ultimately I feel like we don't care. I think most of us have a problem with being forced to like deal with it directly because of being inundated with all this information all the time. And so you just get to a point where, we got to be like, take a moment. But sometimes people are going to slip up is what I'm saying. Just because you slip up or just because you're uncomfortable, just because it's a difficult or it's like a hard transition or you don't remember, we're not used to it. That don't mean you a devil. I'm not a monster because occasionally I'm going to be like, oh, remember Ellen Page? Oh, that's right. It's a man now. You know what I mean? Give me a second to like, get it together. It's like, man, this is just like daylight savings. All right? Daylight savings. Every time there's daylight savings, for like a week, I'm like this. Damn, it's 5 o'clock. It's still it's dark as hell out here. What's going on? Oh yeah, we changed the clock. It's daylight savings, and then you get used to it, and you don't even think about it till they change it again, and then you're like, my God, it's still light out. It's 5 o'clock. Why isn't the sun down? That's just how that goes. You know what I mean? All right, before I move forward, I usually do real world advice from a grown ass man. I didn't do it this week because I wasn't gonna have time to answer any posts. But I just want to tell everybody, I do this, and every time I do my advice portion of my show, which I could do a couple of questions here on the chat, but I don't trust the chat. YouTube chat is toxic. But I always tell people, don't think that getting help is important. Like getting therapy it's not bad for you. Therapy is great. It helps you organize your thoughts. It helps you connect the dots with a professional who understands these things and sees patterns. They're not going to solve your problems. They're just going to help you get through them, help you understand them. And even if you don't solve them, at least you have a better understanding of where it comes from. And because I've been doing this segment, I now have a great new sponsor. So my new sponsor is called BetterHelp. All right. BetterHelp. So if you go to betterhelp.com/Griffin, you will get a discount. All right. A lot of things interfere with our happiness, interfere with our life. We're stressed out about the pandemic. We're stressed out about how we're going to pay rent. So BetterHelp is a place you can connect in a safe, private environment. You don't got to go sit in a waiting room and feel weird and self-conscious that you're in getting therapy. You can start communicating in under 24 hours too. All right. You send a message to your counselor at any time, and they will answer it and this is a professional. This isn't self-help. This is a freaking therapist, all right? Licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, stress, anxiety, relationships. Look, even like transgender issues too. If you're somebody that's transitioning or you're somebody in your family and you're trying to deal with it, this is how therapy will help you understand what you're feeling. All right? So I want you to start living a happier life today. So as a listener of Riffin with Griffin, you'll get 10% off your first month of visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Griffin. And that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Griffin, guys. BetterHelp. So thanks to BetterHelp for being a sponsor. So I'm trying to be out there for you guys. All right. So, damn, how much time we've been doing? Oh, shit. Look how fast 30 minutes goes, guys. Now, I was on Rick Glassman's podcast. We got a super chat, and we got a super chat. Oh, we back again. Better tell your friends. Somebody's name is Yikes. Got those likes. With that 99 cents, it don't make sense. You like Mike Pence. That's it. You only gave 99 cents, so you ain't getting a full rap. But thanks for the super chat. So I was on the great Rick Glassman's podcast, Take Your Shoes Off. I love Rick. Rick has become a really dear friend of mine, and he always makes me really emotional, with some of his stories and what he goes through. And I really am fond of Rick Glassman, And I was on there this time, and we were talking about stuff that, 3 days later it happened, because we were talking a lot about body positivity and what we feel about that movement and what, and I've talked about this before, but I don't care. I mean, I'm not a big fan of body positivity just on its own. Things need to be unpacked, but on social media, you get little snippets, you get highlights, you get sentences with no context. You don't get the full story, the full spectrum, because life is really nuanced and every case is individual, But as a whole, I believe that we all should try to be as healthy as possible with our diet, with what we put in our bodies, diet, our taking care of ourselves. And, a lot of us are falling short of that. And I think that just body positivity, just as a blanket statement, I feel like it's applied in the wrong way. It's like, this is how it usually happens too. You get someone like Adele, for instance. Adele, she big. She a thick chick. Adele thick. And then you see a person like that go on interviews and talking about her body. And, I don't know if Adele actually did that, because I actually have a friend who is an actress who was all over the place talking about body positivity. And this is what happens. Someone like that, so now fat people out there, they see this person as a hero. oh, look, this person is making it and doing their thing and they're proud of who they are and what they look like, right? But this is what always happens. That person starts losing weight and getting healthy. You know why? Because they have to, okay? They have to, all right? They're on tour. They're doing tours. Adele can't be fat all the time because she got to sing. You have to be in shape. Jermaine Dupri had this great show about these kids, a hip-hop competition with these kids. One of the challenges was this performer took them to work out. And he said, look, you're on stage. You want to do a 30-city tour where you're on stage for 2 hours a night? You got to be in shape. You got to keep your stamina. So you can remember the songs, so you can perform the songs. It makes sense as a performer, right? So someone like Adele, who she had her baby and all the stuff that she had, now she's like, she's older. You got to be in better shape. So they end up leaving the fat army. But then the fat army is sitting back at home like, well, what are you doing? You're promoting diet culture. What? Now, diet culture even in itself is more nuanced. Someone hit me up talking about, well, diet culture is like these weird diets that people tell you to be on, these like quick fix diets. But the way they're applying it online to people. So anyway, Rick and I are talking about this on this podcast. Rick and I were talking about this on this podcast, and I said to him, you know what's going to happen? Because I told him this is what happens. These fat celebrities are always out there talking body positivity, and they always go out and lose weight. They always go out and lose weight and get healthy, and then everybody gets on them like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in love with who you are. And that's not what it's about. Listen, you can love who you are and still be wrong. You can love who you are and still need to be in better shape or to be healthier. And so what? You love who you are. I bet Hitler loved who he was. Hitler was probably like, I'm the shit. Look at me. I'm running a country and I'm killing people. You know what I mean? Just because you love who you are, it don't make it right. Okay, so stop with that. And I said on Rick Lansman's podcast, I said, who's going to, and this is live. How you doing, Jeremy Coleman? It's live. I like saying people's name when I see in the chat because he goes, is this live? Yeah, it's live, fool. Anyways, so on Glassman's podcast, I said, you know who this is going to happen to? It's going to happen to Lizzo. I said to him, this is going to happen to Lizzo because she's like the fat princess. Everybody loves her. They praise her. And she's now trapped in a corner where she has to be fat for people to love her. But you know what? It ain't going to last. She is eventually going to have to be healthier. And they got on her. And she went on a juice cleanse for like 10 days. They showed her before and after. And the before, she was fat. The after, she wasn't as fat, but still fat. Like, they act like, it's like, this is so stupid. So they're getting on her. Lizzo's promoting diet culture. So this is like where I say real world advice from a grown-ass man. I'm giving out advice right now, unsolicited real world advice. When can we get back to telling people to go fuck off? When can we get back to telling people mind your damn business about what's going on here? Lizzo is like, she has responsibilities of her own to her family, to her life, to her career. And she's popular. She has to tour. She has to go out there. She is not going to be able to sustain that form of excellence being that fat. That's just my opinion. So there's going to have to be a compromise of, what she has to do. And maybe she's going to be like, I don't care. I just won't go do as much concerts. If that's what she wants to do, fine. But let her do her. If she wants to stay fat, that's on her. If she wants to diet and get skinny and try to like take care of herself, that's on her too. We need to just leave people alone. It's like we letting these damn Karens on the internet run our lives and our world, and they need to shut up. I'm so tired of people using words like toxic. That's the word I can't stand. Because that's a catch-all. Like what I'm talking about right now. It's a catch-all. So they'll be like, oh, Erik Griffin was having a toxic conversation about weight. Bitch, shut up. Mind your fucking business. That's what I have to say to you, A toxic conversation. That's not, like you talk about anything and they call it toxic. You know what? You're toxic with your toxic. You know what I mean? Your culture. That's what I'll call it. It's culture. Diet culture, whatever culture, toxic man culture. You know what? Your culture is the thing that's ruining society. We got to do it. This is what we do live, guys. This is what we do live. This helps me not be so angry. Oh, we back at it again. Tell your friend. We always about that win.
with this Matic production beat. Make you move from your head to your feet. We got another super chat. My man, the millionaire is back. $5, got that $1 stack. Yeah.
All right. So it's like, can we leave people alone? Can we? Can we just leave people alone? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, people are just trying to live their lives. Like, stop making people a hero that didn't necessarily want to be a hero. Like, you put out music. Like, imagine the pigeonholed, how pigeonholed Lizzo is. Now she has to be the fat chick champion. You know what I mean? She got to be the one that's got to always be out there. Look at me. It's like every one of her pictures, it's just her with like rolls. You can't even see the bikini top, you know? And you just be like, what? Like, okay, is this cute to some people? Sure. Is it inspiring to some fat girl out there who's like, oh, I don't want to work out, or I have trouble working out, or I'm too busy? And it's like, look, Lizzo did it, so I can do it too. Okay, fine. But there are also other people who are like, yuck. Can that be okay too? Can it be okay that you have a preference where you're like, I don't necessarily like that. Good for you. Like, two things can be true. I can be like, damn, good for you. Good for having confidence in yourself. Good for doing what you do, girl. Good for you. And at the same time, I don't like it. I think it's disgusting. I think those two things can be true. You know what I mean? You could praise someone for what they do and also be like, hey, I don't know if this ain't my cup of tea. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was talking about this on Glassman's podcast, and maybe I wasn't clear enough, but it's like, just because you are attracted to a certain thing, it doesn't mean that certain thing is something that is, healthy. It's a better PC way to say it. It's like, you can have an unhealthy lifestyle, and sometimes you can be attracted to that. It's like women who are attracted to men who are in prison. Like they there's some mass murderer, and they're like, ooh, I'm attracted to bad boys. There's something about him being in prison, something about the crimes he did, whatever their reasoning is. Just because they're attracted to that guy, it don't make being in prison okay. It don't make it okay. I'm not saying being in prison is the same thing as being fat. I'm just using it as an analogy of like how we approach it. Like, we need to stop, it's like, I just like to use the term of like just being healthier so we can live longer. And I'm thinking about these things because as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize like after the move, I was sore as hell. My back was hurting, my arms were hurting, my knees were hurting. I was like, oh my God, I felt like an old ass man. I realized I'm not bouncing back as fast as I used to before. And then like, I'm like moving towards diabetes when I take these blood tests and stuff. And I was like, oh man, so I got to cut back on sugar and breads and all this kind of stuff. And I realized as you get older, your body is, it's hard to deal with that. And then I'm starting to think about inflammation and all these kinds of things because those things lead to dementia. And those are the kind of things I have to think about because my mom has dementia. And I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm trying to do preventative medicine. What's wrong with having the mentality of that? Having the mentality of like, I'm thinking about my future. So when I look at someone else and I go, okay, oh, you're 25, 26, and you are living an unhealthy lifestyle. This is my perspective. Like, yo, when you're getting close to 50, you can't just be willy-nilly with stuff, man. You can't just be willy-nilly. You can't just be like, oh, I'm doing me. I love me for who I am. I'm body positive and I'm beautiful. Yeah, you also about to die of like something terrible. So, that's all my perspective is. But they always make it about, oh, you're talking smack about somebody. They always make it about like, oh, you're being negative or whatever it is. Whatever narrative the Karens and PC police and the cancel culture, the culture, those people, however they phrase it and they present it, they always coming across like they're in the right. They never think in their minds that maybe they're going too far. You ever think that you possibly could be going too far? Maybe. I don't know. It's crazy. Uh-oh. Got a new beat. Let's play this new beat from Matic Production.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Super chat time. Super chat time. Super chat, super chat, super chat time. Woo! Erik Griffin live. Erik Griffin. Playing live. Oh, that bass drop. People don't stop. San Jose. Sharky with that $10 spot. $10 super chat. That ain't right. When I see the super chat, Erik Griffin rap. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, that's all you get. We need to cancel culture. That's what somebody said in the chat. Cancel culture. I know, it's crazy. You know, but by the way, I also don't want to be one of these people that's like, oh, everybody's too sensitive. Young people are sensitive. I'm not going to be like that either. You know, it's okay that you, like, I'm actually okay with you feeling the way you want to feel, right? But keep that shit to yourself. That's my point. Or start a podcast like me, because this is the point of having a podcast, is getting your voice out and having your message, right? So, okay, you want to have your shit on social media, but I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get rid of you. You know, I'm just trying to say, like, hey, mind your business. All right. You don't like what I do. I don't like what you do. We can still coexist. We can still live our lives and be like just in disagreement. It's fine. As long as you're not hurting somebody. You know what I mean? But people have it in their head that once they don't like something, or it's not by the narrative that they want, they feel like, oh, well, we have to remove that person from society. You know? It's freaking annoying. You know, I also want to say, since I moved to my new spot, the dudes from Hangover Candle Company sent me this dope new candle. I don't get no sponsorship from them or nothing. I just like his candles. This sucker smells delicious. Once I get it all set up, this is going to be my new candle. Anyway, that's enough about cancel culture. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know. I think that's all we got for this week, guys. I don't know if you like this. Chat, what do you think? Should I just go live on Sunday nights with my Riffin with Griffin? And when I don't have a guest, you know, or even if I have a guest, still go live, Riffin with Griffin. So, because this is actually literally how I do my podcast. I just turn on the cameras. I have some things in my head that I wanted to talk about from before, and then I just come on here and I work it out. And it's a way for me to clear my thoughts, clear my head, come up with material too for jokes. You know what I mean? I know I talked about my mom earlier. I did see my mom again. It's hard. I don't know if anybody out there is dealing with dementia in their family, but it's tough, man. It's a tough thing to deal with, because you find yourself wanting to avoid seeing whoever it is, you know, especially if you had a certain type of relationship. And it's my mom, and it's hard. Every time I see her, it's hard. But she got this new thing now. So I picked her up, and we went for a drive. And so we drive, and then she sees a house, you know, and she goes, Erik, see that house? That's the house I went to when I came to America with my grandma. And grandma, we went to that house, and she has a whole story about it, you know? And I'm like, where they live, this, you know what I mean? It's not true. You know what I mean? But, you know, dementia, they live in a fantasy world. About 5 minutes later, we see another house, and she goes, Erik, see that house? That's the house I came to when I first came to America. Same story, but a different house. 5 minutes later, another one. After the third one, I was like, which house is it, woman? We just passed 3 houses. You told me the same story. Now, I should not have done that. But that is part of my problem. That's why it's, you know what? And that's why it's hard to deal with. Because I fly off the handle, or, you know, it's like it's hard for my brain to accept this. It's just, I really, every day I try to work on it. Every day. I'm way better than what I was when I first was dealing with it. Because I would just argue. I would just be like, no, your grandma's dead. You know, I would be like that. But now I'm like, I just let her tell her stories. You know, tell me about, oh, grandma. She was like, oh, yeah. Like Thanksgiving, she was like, I don't know why we're at this place. We should have went to my grandmother's house because she cooks. Ooh, she would have cooked better Thanksgiving. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, what are you talking about? You know, but new things are happening. So she knows I'm moving. So, and she said to me, she was like, oh, you're moving? Oh, so you're moving away from like some street. you know, and it's a street from where she came from. So she thinks I live on some street in, you know, and I'm like, no. And I still did. I was like, no, remember I'm in Culver City. But then I really have to just be like, oh, yeah. That's the street I live on. And I moved to this other street. Because I just need to stop. Because what I realize is when I contradict her, it confuses her. And then she already has cloudy thoughts. And she knows it too, I could tell. Because even when I said that thing about the houses, I was like, well, even though I was joking, because my mom, she's got a great sense of humor. So we joke. My mom jokes a lot with me, you know. So, so I would normally say something like that, like, this is the third time you said this, woman. And I could be like that with my mom. Like, which house is it? You know, we laugh. But this time I saw her that she was like, oh, well, and then she was like, oh, never mind. You know, and I thought to myself, oh, I messed up. I messed up right there. Because she had to think, and she didn't, and it's hard for people with dementia. Like, it's hard to talk on the phone and stuff like that because, you know, you actually have to take the lead in the conversation and just ask simple questions and keep talking so they can just gather information as opposed to them having to come up with stuff. Because when they have to come up with stuff, they get confused, and that's why they repeat themselves over and over and over again. So anyway, anybody out there dealing with that, I feel for you. It is a tough thing to deal with. You know, and again, too, it's like this goes back to what I'm saying about to wrap it all up. You know, for me, dementia, it means something. So, you know, that's important to me because I'm dealing with it. What's important to you might not be something that I'm dealing with. You're not a monster because you don't care about dementia. You know, you might be like, oh, you're indifferent to it. Just like how we are with the homeless. We're indifferent. That's how people are. The way you treat the homeless is the way people treat your important issue, especially you Karens out there, you PC police people. I care about your issue the way you care about the homeless. It's just words. You're not really doing anything. You're not out there on the front lines. And the ones that are, I commend you. You're doing God's work, and we should all be better about trying to take care of our fellow man. But don't act like just because I don't care about something on the level that you do, that one, you're better than me or that I'm a terrible person. No, I just have other things I care about. That's all. There's levels. We have different levels. That's all. All right, man. We did it, right? I think we did it. I want to thank everybody that gave super chats today. Let's go down the list. Thanks to Yikes. Thanks to Jamie Mendoza. Thanks to Brendan Wilson, San Jose Shark, and Brendan. Thanks to people. And thanks to everybody that on my very small Patreon. I got like 9 or 10 people on my Patreon. You know what I mean? I don't even think it's that many. But those people out there, I really appreciate you guys for being a part of that. I'm trying to put content up there. It's hard, but we moved. So now we got this new place, and Rachel and I will do some more content. Because I want her to be on there too. You know, because she's so funny. Like, we'll have these funny moments, and I go, we should record this and put it on the Patreon because she'll edit it together, too. She's really good at that. But listen, guys, I really appreciate you guys being here, watching Riffin with Griffin live. The people that aren't watching live, that you caught it at the tail end, or you're watching it now because it's Monday. You know, this podcast will it's gonna be private, and I'll put it back. No, actually, I'll just keep it up. Whatever it is, it is what it is. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know how to do it moving forward. But thank you for being here. Make sure you follow me. I'm at Instagram, Twitter, at Erik Griffin. I game every day, Erik Griffin Gaming on Twitch, and I put those videos on YouTube. Just got a dub with my boy Stevie Weeby, my other friend Brian. So I have that video up on my gaming channel, Erik Griffin Gaming. And thanks for being here again on Riffin with Griffin. I got some guests that I think I want to roll out. You know, I'm not going to always have guests, but I'll have a few guests, and I'm just going to keep doing this. I appreciate the loyal fan base. You guys are really great. I know you guys are up late. It's 12:30 a.m. where I am. I don't know where everybody else is, but shout out to all you guys for being on right now. There's like 350 people watching live, so I appreciate that. And if you want to do this, if you want me to do this more often, just live episodes on Sunday night, put it in the chat right there. Put the comments. Let me know what not in the chat, but in the comments. You know, comment that, yes, keep doing this. And, of course, I'm still going to do real-world advice from a grown-ass man. I didn't have any this week because I was just so busy moving on the weekend. But thanks for watching Riffin with Griffin. Thanks for being here live with me. And you guys are the best. So let's go out with the singing mic. You know what I mean? Let's go out with this singing mic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did it live. Erik Griffin did it live. Riffin, Griffin. Always slipping. Always living. Never slipping. I got those super jets home. Now I drive a car. I'm not really a rapper, but if you step up, I'll slap you. Cancel culture. I'm like a vulture, coming in on these topics. Get these beats and drop it. Oh, Erik Griffin gave me the best. Oh, say it with your chest. Oh, here we go again. Matic production beats. Now tell your friends. Spit these bars. Driving these cars. Moving real spice. Oh, the all smell like spice. Here we go again. Good night. Erik Griffin gaming. Now turn to fight. Come at me with that slight. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, with that dad rap. Step at me, get slapped. Better help, get your discount. BetterHelp.com/Griffin. Riffin with Griffin live. That's what we strive. Don't forget about that rules. Here we go, here we go. Thanks for being here again. You did it with your friend. Let's go. Erik Griffin gave me with that slick ass flow. This is Riffin with Griffin. Riffin with Griffin. Riffin with Griffin. Did it again. Did it again. Did it again.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next week. This is episode 113. Riffin with Griffin.